everybody, my name is Howard, and I want to share this whole experience that I had with you guys, okay? Because I went to my cousin Mariah's back to school night, and it was a mess, okay? It was a mess, not so much the school, because, I went to the same school as well when I was in there. The whole reason I went to the back to school night was because she was getting, extra credit and whatnot, and my aunt was not able to go and attend because she had to work. But anyway, what I want to talk about is the fact that when I was there, each teacher had one thing in common, that they all talked about what is just going wrong. Clearly, something is going on with the school system, clearly. Okay, if you did not know, if it's news to you, the school system is just to pits, okay? Because one of the teachers told me that they have the textbooks, so the textbooks were ordered for the children, but they're not going to receive the workbooks. So the teacher has one workbook, and she has to make photocopies of everything in the workbook so that the students can have the materials to learn, okay? And I remember that when I was in high school, that they were always complaining how before the end of the year even came, they ran out of paper. So then when they run out of paper, when all of this happens, what are they supposed to do? Okay, what is supposed to happen, all right? And then another teacher was telling me how she has 50 kids in her class. And I've been in that teacher's classroom. To have 50 children, high schoolers, in that woman's class at one time does not make sense. But what I am saying is that, period, at no point in time should no student go without all of their materials. The books and all of that should be there, period, for every student. And to be quite honest, just to say how I feel about all of this, they need to give every student an iPad. Like, I think from elementary on up to high school, that should be like something that you're given, period. That way, schools are always talking about how they don't have enough computers. Every student should have a computer, and and how they come without their textbooks and this and that and all of this. You know what I'm saying? Well, do away with all that. You got the iPad, okay? You got the iPad. You put all your textbooks on there. You put all your stuff to do your homework, workbooks, this, that, and the fifth, so that every student can have it. And I think if every student had an iPad, they would be more likely to, I think, to do their work. Because who doesn't want to hold an iPad? Hey, boop, 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 oh, yes, I'm just studying on my iPad or whatever, my tablet, some sort of something, okay? Because that would be so green. Oh my gosh. To think of how much paper we would save from not having those textbooks. Because those textbooks are thick, okay? Think of that. And think of that you would not have to worry about carrying all of that. Like, that would lighten up the students' souls, because I remember on the news at one point they were talking about, kids' backs were hurting because they were carrying around these heavy textbooks and whatever. I think that right then, right there, I have just solved the issue for you all. For you all. Because guess what? If you don't have to have printed books, that's going to cut the cost of the books in half, okay? And which means that you can just automatically, as the school system, the county or whoever it is, to just do that. Like, invest. You need to invest and move this whole situation forward so that you can make changes in situations better. How is it that we're having to take this long to make easy changes? Easy changes. Is it because people don't want to spend the money? I think that's just ridiculous. If people just don't want to spend the money, or they just feel so where it's going to come from. We are paying all of these taxes, but yet we don't see nothing. Quiet as it's kept. And, I think everybody likes to say that, oh, we're paying these taxes, and oh, no. No, you don't see nothing. You ain't been seeing nothing. Not a thing. Not the things that matter. The things that are everyday, day-to-day. Clearly, something such as our school system. These should not be going without books. There should not be that many students in classrooms. This is just weird. This is odd. Like, why is it that over in other countries, their school systems are sorting themselves out? They got all of these kids and their scores are so high. Well, guess what? Students, apparently, we're in such situations where some people cannot even afford to buy school supplies, paper and whatnot for their students, for their kids, which I can understand. But with that being said, maybe you shouldn't have to buy school supplies. Maybe when you're going to school, all those things should be provided. You know? Like maybe senior dues, when you're a senior, every year, you know, out of your, either it could be it could be a tax write-off. You know, you pay a certain amount of money in the beginning of the school. You get your iPad. You know, you get all the little materials that you're gonna need. You know, besides for your book bag. You know, you don't need all of those things. Some things you can buy on your own because you know everyone doesn't need a book bag. Some people carry their books in their hands. Some people carry their stuff in the bag. Okay, but you know, and then also you know, iPads, and other tablets and whatnot. They have tracking devices in them, which means that. Guess what? If your student steals that thing, they're gonna be tracked down. You can't get away with it at all. So how is it that it makes this much sense to me? But the people who are in charge of the schooling systems and whatnot can't seem to put one and one together to make two. Okay? I mean, it just kind of upsets me. It upsets me a great deal. To know that my cousin is going to that school and they're having such issues. Okay, and I mean, this is a public school. I don't know how it goes down in private schools and whatnot, but this is just unacceptable. The children are the future, okay? These are the children, and the children are the future. And what is the future going to be if the kids can't learn? I refuse to be an old, wrinkled up person sitting in my motorized chair, having to just be worried about all of my life because the students that are in school now that are going to be running the future don't know nothing. I mean, all they know is just how to breathe because, praise the good Lord, they learned that from birth. Someone from the Board of Education call me. Prince George's County. Call me, okay? Because I have a mini idea and I can just bring you guys on and through with my ideas. Okay? And you know, I don't mind talking to people. You know, I don't mind having conversation, you know, people that are the naysay, that don't want to, you know, or that just do not understand exactly what it is I'm trying to say. You know, I don't mind breaking it down for you. Okay? You know, I'm just that kind of person. But either way, you guys, please hit that subscribe button because I have a many more thing to say. Okay? A many more topic to go over and discuss. And I don't want you to miss out on it. If you miss out, it's only your fault because you didn't click that button. If you click the button, it's going to show up on your thing and it's just going to sort you on out. Okay? And please, thumbs up this video. Thumbs up for the children. Get this video out. Send it to the people that need to know. Because I also know that it's not just my county that is going through this whole situation. Okay? I know it's a lot of schools. It's schools all across the country. Schools all across the world. I don't mind helping out the children of other countries, okay? I will come. I will come, okay? Just somebody get me a ticket over the plane. Because I can't do that. I just don't know how I'm going to sort that out just yet. Because, you know, going across seas is expensive. But I do have a passport. But neither here nor there. Leave a comment about what you think. What's going on in your school? Like, let's document this, okay? What's going on with you? What is so terrible in your school? Are the hallways torn down? Okay, do the teachers just suck? Okay, I mean, let's just be honest. Okay, do the computers just seem to be a bucket of bolts? All right, let's just put it out there. Let's just be honest. Let's see what comes of this. All right, and I'll see you next time. Bye.